Welcome to the Kentucky Board of Nursing. This is a brief educational video that will serve as an overview of the key points of applying for a Kentucky RN or LPN license. The first video we will review is about Nurse Licensure Compact. There will be a question on the application that will ask where your primary state of residence is. The reason this question is asked is because Kentucky is part of the Nurse Licensure Compact. This next video will explain the Nurse Licensure Compact in more details for nursing students. Hi. Welcome to this brief educational video that will serve as a guide to the Nurse Licensure Compact for nursing students. The objectives of this video are to provide you with a general overview of the Nurse Licensure Compact, to explain obtaining a multi-state license, to explain the NCLEX and applying for licensure by exam, and to provide you with some tangible scenario-based examples. The objectives of this video are to provide you with a general overview of the Nurse Licensure Compact, to explain obtaining a multi-state license, to explain the NCLEX and applying for licensure by exam, and to provide you with some tangible scenario-based examples. So, what is the Nurse Licensure Compact? The NLC is an interstate agreement that allows nurses, RNs or LPNs, to practice physically via telehealth or via other electronic means in all compact states with one license issued from their primary state of legal residence, their home state. A nurse's PSOR is the state where the nurse has a driver's license and is registered to vote, and legal documents related to residency should all be from that same state. So which states are part of the NLC? 43 states have enacted the NLC. You can see from the map there are 40 blue states which have fully implemented. Guam is in purple because they have partially implemented to the NLC. Massachusetts and U.S. Virgin Islands are in light blue awaiting implementation to the NLC. To be eligible for a multi-state license, a nurse's PSOR must be a state that is part of the NLC. Also, a nurse must meet all 11 uniform licensure requirements for a multi-state license. These are included in the license application. As a new grad, how does the NLC apply to you? If you are a legal resident of a compact state, you too might be eligible for a multi-state license. You will have to apply for license by exam and authorization to test to the compact state where you will legally reside. Provided you pass the NCLEX and meet all other multi-state licensure requirements, you may be eligible to receive your multi-state license. But what if you are not going to legally reside in a compact state? Unfortunately, until your home state joins the compact, you will not be eligible for a multi-state license. Instead, you can obtain a single state license. Let's take a closer look at applying the licensure pending a job offer. There are many myths associated with taking the NCLEX and applying for licensure. Let's set the record straight about those myths. To clarify, you may not submit application for license by exam to more than one state. The NCLEX is not a state exam. It is a national exam and can be taken in any state convenient to you. You are not required to apply for initial license by exam in the state of your nursing program. So, to clarify even more, if you will be residing and working in a compact state, which is Texas, then that compact state is the state where you should apply your license by exam and authorization to test. As stated earlier, you may actually sit for the exam in any state. And your results will be sent to the Board of Nursing where you applied for authorization to test and licensure. In this case, it would be Texas. Now, what about if you will be working in a non-compact state? Well, you'll have to apply for license by exam and authorization to test in the state of employment. If after you receive your initial license by exam in a non-compact state and additional licenses are needed, you can obtain those via the license by endorsement application. That application is located on the Board of Nursing website. Now that you have a solid understanding, let's take a look at some scenario-based examples that you can then apply to your own situation to help you gain an even better understanding of steps you should take. In this first scenario, meet Susan. Susan goes to school in California, but she plans to work and live in Arizona after graduation. She should apply for license by exam and authorization to test with the Arizona Board of Nursing. She can take the test in California or any other state that's convenient to her, but her results would go to the Arizona Board of Nursing where she originally applied. In this second scenario, meet John. John goes to school in Arizona but plans to move to and work in California after graduation. He should apply for license by exam and authorization to test with the California Board of Nursing. Provided he passed NCLEX, he will obtain a single state license valid in California only. If additional licenses are needed, he can apply for license by endorsement. In this third scenario, this is Mary. Mary is a legal resident of Illinois but she plans on only practicing in Indiana. Therefore, she should apply for license by exam and authorization to test with the Indiana Board of Nursing. Thank you for watching this short educational video. There is a variety of other videos and other resources available on the website and toolkit page, so please go and check those out. When to apply for a Kentucky nursing license. It is imperative that applicants complete the application process 2 to 3 months before graduation and have all requirements completed before the school verifies the education and graduation date. If the requirements are not completed, it will delay your provisional license and authorization to test. If an applicant has a misdemeanor or felony on their record, we request you apply at least 2 to 3 months prior of graduation. This will allow for time to review the convictions. Overview of license by examination requirements and fees. Kentucky Board of Nursing application $125. Federal and state background check $53.25. Jurisprudence examination $15. Kentucky Nursing Laws and Advisory Opinion Statements. Pearson VUE registration $200. Verification of education from Program of Nursing. Total, $393.25. Welcome to the Kentucky Nurse Portal tutorial. In this video we will cover how to create an account using the Kentucky Nurse Portal. The Kentucky Nurse Portal link can be found on the Kentucky Board of Nursing homepage by clicking on the Kentucky Nurse Portal link. You will be directed to the Kentucky Nurse Portal login page that you see here. The login page allows applicants to create an account, resend a verification email, and sign in. Let's get started by creating an account. This screen highlights the terms and conditions for the Kentucky Nurse Portal. Be sure you carefully and thoroughly read the terms and conditions, then click on I agree to continue. If you already have an existing license with the Kentucky Board of Nursing, you would select yes and continue. If you are applying for your first license with Kentucky, you will select no and click continue. For this demonstration we are going to select no and continue. Next, you must provide a valid email, then complete the CAPTCHA security check, then click continue. The system will send you a confirmation email to verify your email address. You must access the confirmation email and click the registration link in it within 24 hours of the email being sent. If you do not, you will need to restart the registration process to create an account. Make sure you check your inbox and spam folders for the confirmation email. Once you have clicked the registration link and verified your email, you'll be taken back to the Kentucky Nurse Portal to complete the account registration process. On this page, you will provide your personal information, such as name, date of birth, and social security number. You will also be required to create a password. You will complete another CAPTCHA security check, then click on Create an Account to complete the account registration process. Now that an account has been created, this concludes the Kentucky Nurse Portal demonstration video on how to create a Kentucky Nurse Portal account. How to complete an examination application. The first step of the application process is to log into the Kentucky Nurse Portal. The Kentucky Nurse Portal link can be found on the Kentucky Board of Nursing homepage. Click on the Kentucky Nurse Portal link to get to the login page of the Nurse Portal. If you have created your account, then sign in using your email and password you used when you created your Nurse Portal account. If you have not created a Nurse Portal account yet, go back and watch the How to Create a Nurse Portal Account tutorial. You should now be logged in on your Kentucky Nurse Portal dashboard. Your account information and message center are located on the left side of the page. You may begin to submit an application by clicking on Apply for a License, which is located within the box Your License with Kentucky. This will take you to the page that will list all available applications. You can click on the name of an application to view a description of it, and instructions on who should apply for that application. It is very important that you select the correct application for the type of license you are applying for. In this demonstration we are going to apply for an RN examination application by clicking on LPN/RN application examination educated in the United States, then we will click on the RN abbreviation. On the next page you will see the instructions for the application. It is very important that you read these instructions carefully and thoroughly as they include information on the application requirements. Please note, if you should have a question while filling out your application, you may reference the instructions by clicking on View Instructions link located on the top left side of the application. After reading the instructions, scroll down and click Next to begin the application. The first part of the application is the license application type. The license application type section displays the license type and application type that you are applying for. Confirm you have selected the correct application. Then, click Save and continue to proceed. Next is the General Information section, which consists of your demographic information. In the demographic information section, your name and social will auto-populate from your nurse portal account. If you see a discrepancy in the name that is displaying, please contact the category examination via the message center with the legal document showing the name that should be displayed. You will need to complete your gender and race to complete this section. If you did not enter your social security number on the nurse portal, then the social security number box will appear on this screen for you to enter. Next is your contact information section. You are asked to declare your primary state of residence and provide a residential address. You are required to upload one of the listed documents for proof of your residence. Your primary state of residence is where you vote, pay federal income taxes, and hold a driver's license. If your mailing address is different than your primary residence address, select the box next to "This is my mailing address" and enter a mailing address in the mailing address section. You will also need to provide a primary phone number below your address. Next is a question asking if you are a U.S. citizen. You will need to select yes or no. The second question is, have you taken the Kentucky jurisprudence exam? If yes, please note the jurisprudence exam is valid for 1 year. Click Save and continue. This is the education history section. In this section you will provide the state where you completed your nursing program. You will then provide the program type, program name and program code along with the education status, degree obtained and the expected graduation date by month and year. Once you enter your program information, you will need to select the education basis for licensure by picking your nursing program information in the education basis for licensure section. Click on Save and continue to proceed to the next section. This is the NCLEX information section. If you have previously taken the NCLEX exam, then you will answer yes to this question. If not, then answer no and click Save and continue. Next is the eligibility questions section. This is the last section of the application. In this section you will provide information regarding criminal background history along with licensing related questions. If you answer yes to a question, you are required to upload a detailed letter of explanation and a certified copy of the court documents reflecting the disposition of the case. The last question is an accountability and responsibility statement that you must check the box to agree to. Then click Save and continue. This is the Preview and Submit License Application section. You can review the information that you provided and make changes before submitting the application. Once you are done reviewing your application, scroll down and select the attestation checkbox and click on Make Payment to pay and submit your application. You will see a pop-up box explaining that you are leaving the nurse portal site and being directed to the payment site. Click on OK and proceed to the payment gateway. Once you select the payment type and enter in your payment information, you will click Next. Then click Pay Now. You will be presented with a confirmation page. You must click Finish for the application to be submitted. You will also receive a confirmation email that your application has been submitted. You are now able to monitor the status of your application from the Kentucky Nurse Portal dashboard. Click on Return to the Nurse Portal dashboard. You should now see the screen that has your information on the left-hand side: Manage Profile, Payment Dashboard, Message Center. The middle section you will see Submitted License Applications. This is the application that you submitted along with a View Status link. Click View Status to view your application requirements. This page will show you the list of application requirements. As you complete each item and is updated at the board, the box will gray out and show under a section at the bottom saying completed. Please note that the NCLEX section will remain showing as a task until you have taken and passed the NCLEX. There will be a word that will display next to the title NCLEX. It will reflect registered, eligible, and ATT sent. To check your application status at a later time, go to the Kentucky Nurse Portal and log in with your email and password. This concludes the Kentucky Nurse Portal demonstration on how to submit an application using the Kentucky Nurse Portal. Application status. To check the status of your application, please log into the Nurse Portal. Under Submitted License Applications, you will see a link that says View Status. Click View Status. This will pull up the licensure by examination requirements. As you complete each item and it is updated at KBN, the requirement will drop down to the bottom of the page under Completed Status. Federal and State Background Check Process. IdentoGo. Background checks must be completed through IdentoGo. All applicants will need to register via the UEnroll website utilizing the Kentucky Board of Nursing Service Code 27GKJR. This website will collect all necessary personal data for scheduling your appointment at one of the many IdentoGo centers. Once you complete the registration, you will be provided a service summary detailing your appointment, along with what you need to bring to the location. This information will also be emailed to the email you provided during your registration. All applicants are required to pre-enroll and schedule an appointment. The link can be found on your application status in the Nurse Portal. LiveScan enrollment process. Federal and State Background Report, $53.25. When you arrive to the site for your appointment at an IdentoGo center, you will verify your identity and provide your birthday for security to enter the enrollment process. The workstation will prompt for confirmation of what you are enrolling for, confirm biographic and personal data, and require a valid ID document be scanned. When the fingerprint capture and payment collection is complete, you will sign to confirm you have completed the enrollment, and a receipt is auto-printed with details regarding your enrollment. Certified/business checks, money orders, or a credit card can be used to pay for services at the location. You can manage an existing appointment, reprint your card, scan registration form, or check your report status through the IdentoGo site. Don't have access to the internet? You can still schedule an appointment by calling 844-543-9714. Applicants outside of Kentucky will follow the Kentucky non-resident LiveScan processing found on the KBN website. Jurisprudence examination. You must submit an application for licensure to KBN before you can take the jurisprudence exam. Go to the Nurse Portal and log in to access the link to the jurisprudence exam. Use the application ID number located in the Submitted License Applications section when registering for the exam. Use your first and last name only. $15 fee. The content is based on Kentucky nursing laws and advisory opinion statements. Open book computerized exam with 35 questions. Study guide available on the KBN website. Must achieve a passing score of 80% or higher. Can be retaken as many times as needed within a 3-week period. Exam is valid for 1 year. If you do not list the application ID number found on the Nurse Portal when creating your jurisprudence account, the results will not be sent to KBN. Be sure to save and print your completion transcript for your records. ADA accommodations. ADA accommodations are available for the NCLEX. If you are applying for ADA accommodations, you must first complete the licensure application and Pearson VUE registration. Then you will submit the ADA accommodations request form and required documents in the Nurse Portal Message Center using the RN/LPN examination category. You will upload the following required documents: ADA accommodations request form, letter from the program of nursing showing what accommodations, if any, were granted while applicant was in school. Medical documentation. Evaluation from the doctor must be within 2 years of application date. Must include type of testing, specific diagnosis, diagnosis code, and accommodations. Accommodations must be authorized by KBN and NCSBN before you can take the NCLEX. Pearson VUE registration. Register with Pearson VUE when you complete your application to KBN. Pearson VUE registration fee is $200 and is non-refundable. Register online or by phone. Register on the Pearson VUE website. If registering by phone, call 496-2539. If you have been granted any ADA accommodations other than extra time and/or adjustable font and contrast, you must register by phone using the number provided on your ATT. When registering, be sure the spelling of your name is correct and matches your ID. Provide the following information to Pearson VUE: Social Security number, month and year of graduation, name of program of nursing, school code, date of birth, valid email address. What happens next? Log into the nurse portal and under Submitted License Application click View Status link to verify that all requirements have been completed. Kentucky schools will verify and approve the applicant's education when the applicant has completed the program of nursing. If you put the wrong school location or program type, then the program of nursing will reject verification and approval of your education. KBN will then send you an email to get the correct information and update your application. This will cause a delay in your education being verified and approved, along with your provisional license and authorization to test, ATT, being issued. It is highly recommended that you recheck the information you have entered on your application for any errors before submitting the application. Any errors will cause a delay in processing your application. Please allow 7 to 14 business days for your provisional license and ATT to be issued, once all requirements have been completed and your education has been verified and approved by your program of nursing. Provisional license. A provisional license is issued within 14 days of meeting all application requirements. Valid for a period of 6 months from the date issued. Invalidated upon second unsuccessful attempt of completion of the NCLEX. Must immediately cease practicing in a licensed nursing position. Allows the applicant to work as an RN applicant, RNA. LPN applicant, LPNA. Direct supervision. Means that the nurse supervising the applicant shall at all times be physically present during working hours while the applicant holds a provisional license. RNA, directly supervised by an RN or APRN. LPNA, directly supervised by an LPN, RN or APRN. A provisional license is only valid in the state of Kentucky. Authorization to test, ATT. Once you have been granted eligibility to test by KBN, you will receive an authorization to test via the email address you provided when registering to Pearson VUE. The ATT contains your authorization number, candidate identification number, and an expiration date. You must have your ATT email to schedule an appointment to take the NCLEX. Each ATT is valid for a period of 90 days. You must test within the timeframe listed on the ATT email. The timeframe cannot be extended for any reason. It is your responsibility to verify that all personal information is correct on the ATT. The first and last name must match your ID. If there are any errors, contact KBN to update. You can take the NCLEX at any Pearson VUE testing location, regardless of where you are applying for licensure. Procedure for changing NCLEX appointment. If you need to change or cancel your appointment date, time or location, go to the Pearson VUE website or call 1 full business day, 24 hours, before your scheduled exam date and time. For exams scheduled on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday or Friday, call Pearson VUE at least 24 hours in advance of the date and time of your appointment. For exams scheduled on Saturday, Sunday, or Monday, call Pearson VUE no later than Friday and at least 24 hours in advance of your appointment time. If you fail to arrive for the exam appointment or fail to reschedule/unscheduled without giving the appropriate notice, you will forfeit your exam fee and your ATT will be invalidated. You will be required to re-register and pay the exam fee. Day of test. Arrive 30 minutes prior to test time. Acceptable ID, valid driver's license, passport, military ID card, and permanent residence card. Must be government issued, non-expired, signature, and recent photograph. First and last name must match ATT or you will not be allowed to test. Pearson VUE will take the applicant's signature, photo, and palm vein scan. Earbuds available upon request. Breaks are allowed but count against testing time. Breaks will be offered if desired but not mandatory. Lockers available. Required to store all personal belongings during test. You are not allowed to access any personal belongings at any time during your exam, including breaks. This includes cell phones or any electronic devices. NCLEX pass results. If all requirements have been met, a permanent license may be issued to the applicant. Log into the nurse portal and you will be able to see your license status under your licenses with Kentucky. You will get an email when your license is issued. Unsuccessful NCLEX results. If an applicant does not pass the exam, he or she will receive an NCLEX candidate performance report in the nurse portal. The CPR is an individualized document that shows how a candidate performed in each of the test plan content areas. Retaking the NCLEX for the second attempt, re-register with Pearson VUE and pay the $200 fee. You do not have to complete the KBN application and pay the $125 fee. You do not have to repeat the state/federal background check. You do not have to repeat the jurisprudence exam. A new ATT will be sent to schedule your exam. Reapply anytime, but will not be allowed to retest for 45 days. Unsuccessful NCLEX after the second attempt, retaking the NCLEX 3 or more attempts. Log into the nurse portal and complete the LPN/RN application examination retest and pay the application fee of $125. If your previous background check was completed within the last 6 months, it will be transferred to your new application. If the report is older than 6 months, you will need to redo the background check. The jurisprudence exam is valid for 1 year and will transfer to your new application. Re-register with Pearson VUE and pay the $200 fee. A new ATT will be sent to schedule your exam. Reapply anytime, but will not be allowed to retest for 45 days. Kentucky Board of Nursing Licensure Annual Renewal. September 15th to October 31st. The renewal is $65 fee. Renewal will be completed online through the nurse portal. Renewal continuing education requirement. Earning period November 1st previous year through October 31st of current year of renewal. If your license is issued before May 1st, you are required to complete both the renewal and the mandatory continuing education for the approaching renewal. If you are issued a license on or after May 1st, you are not required to complete the renewal or the mandatory continuing education for the approaching renewal. Failure to renew results in having to reinstate your license. More information on continuing education for renewal. 14 approved contact hours, or 7 approved contact hours and satisfactory employee evaluation. Covers at least 6 months of earning period, or more ways of earning CE are available on the KBN website under Continuing Education. Keep 5 years of CE certificates in case you are audited by KBN. Verify a license. To verify your license, visit the KBN homepage, go to the online validation and click Validate Now. You can validate your license on the Board of Nursing License Verification portal. Keep KBN informed. Address email change for applicants and licensed nurses. Completed online through the nurse portal under Manage Profile. Name change for licensed nurses. Complete name change request application online through the nurse portal. Fee of $25 with a copy of one of the required legal name change documents, Social Security card, marriage certificate, petition for the name change court order, divorce decree with the legal name change statement, passport, real ID. Note: if name changes during the application process, log into the nurse portal message center using the RN/LPN examination category and submit name change information, without a fee, along with a copy of one of the required legal name change documents. Once a permanent license has been issued, then use the name change request application found on the nurse portal. There is a $25 fee at that time. For further information, contact the Kentucky Board of Nursing or check out the KBN website. Thank you for watching this brief educational video on the overview of applying for an RN or LPN license by examination.